My grandfather, Richard Dunlap, had a half-brother named Raymond Raleigh King. Raymond Raleigh King was born in California on February the 13th, 1927. King studied in Los Angeles at the Chenard Art Institute. He served nearly 4 years at the California Medical Facility near Vacaville, California on a heroin conviction. He honed his painting skills while incarcerated and was successful in selling many of his canvases while there. It has been stated that he sold about $24,000 worth while he was actually incarcerated in California. Upon release, he opened a studio in San Francisco, but soon fled to Sweden in 1964 due to violating his parole. He died in San Francisco on August 13, 1984. And after my grandfather, Richard Dunlap, passed away, I acquired a few of his oil paintings and these two sketches. I sold his oil paintings, one of which was called a picture of the star of the show. And but I have these two sketches left over, and Raymond actually sketched a storyline of when he himself was going out and looking for a sailboat to purchase. And this is what he wrote on sketch number 1. When the actual time comes to buy his boat, a man is met with a legion of folks who are ready to put their knowledge at his disposal. They glean their mental fields for suggestions such as, "A stout schooner is the only thing for a seagoing man to consider. Why don't you try the Navy surplus? You might convert a lifeboat by pouring concrete in her bottom. Fiberglass, man, fiberglass." We met people like this nautical old Irish gentleman who was quick to inform us, "Sure, lad, know every boat on the Sound. If it's a boat you're after, you've come to the right place." He told us what he would do if he was me, and we were off to Bill's Baits at Clyde's Landings to see that neat little craft old man Swartz might be interested in selling. It turns out to be a Joshua Slocum reject built by a blind plumber in his backyard and launched on the mudflat, there to remain and change with the tide from an eyesore to a navigational hazard. My Scotch companion raised a blister on his nose by prematurely attacking a hot wiener. He later regained his dignity in a joust with a land crab. I got 3 good watercolors and a pencil sketch while we had our lunch by the sparkling sea. And this is sketch number 2. In the forever period, while it dawns on him that he could own a boat, a man reads 1,000 journals. He makes 1,000 check marks besides 1,000 boats for sale. He can easily pick out a craft or 2 or 3 on any walk along any harbor. All the while he is building up the necessary cash reserve. When the time comes to abandon the dream in favor of the purchase, he may find himself reluctant to part with the dream and afraid to spend the cash. But this is part of the adventure, and even the hesitancy is to be enjoyed. The thrill of looking with the intention of buying this wonderful sailing boat that will last a lifetime. We would usually take a thermos of hot coffee and a sketch pad when we started out for the day. Many times this would detour our original purpose. There are hidden places of beauty, known only to the fortunate who live there, and a chance passing seagull that would hang us up for hours. I would become engrossed in a sketch, then suddenly look up to find that a whole day has somehow slipped away. This picture right here looks like it could be right across from San Francisco Harbor. These are close-ups of the 2 sketches as we scan around. And the last writing Raymond King wrote was down at the bottom right-hand portion was, "A few weeks ago we had a chance meeting with a Mr. Perot, an attorney. Part of an estate he was settling consisted of a 30 by 10 double end catch. Then it seemed that the brother of the deceased wanted her. But now, the jangling telephone, the word still interested, See you in the morning. The price is within our reach. Tomorrow we buy a boat. We are not just a little excited. So it is not really well known by my grandfather whether or not Raymond King actually bought a sailboat or not. We kind of doubted it. He kind of doubted it. He thinks he just bought a boat ticket and went to Sweden, or a plane ticket.